A forgotten artifact lies in pieces on a planet far from Earth. Few know it exists except those who took it back and those whose ancestors created it. 4 young people are thrown into a race against emissaries of the gods to find its pieces. Mistrust, greed, and magic are tangled in an endless web. What will the fate be of the universe once it is found and reassembled? Get Scepter of the Gods, The Rod of Truth now on Amazon, and get wrapped up in the saga that will not let you go.
Good morning, and welcome to the Motivational Devotional, where we are merging motivation and spirituality to create a daily dose of confident positivity. I hope that this morning's podcast will help you to be more spiritually and positively motivated so that you can transform your day. This is a special episode in a series of podcasts based on Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. For several years now, I have gone back to the habits taught in this book to prepare for the coming year and home in closer and closer to my lifelong dream and my goals so that I could more effectively achieve my goals. Year after year, we hear people joking about setting New Year's resolutions and then abandoning them by February. Personally, I don't find that very funny. I hope that your resolutions are more important to you than to give them up after only a month or two. What if you were to set 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most resolutions or goals for 2024, and then at the end of 2024, find that you nailed each one of them? You can. I set 2 goals that to me were very large. As I talk about in the Motivational Devotional, I had to change and grow to become more than I was in order to achieve those goals. As I say this now, I have done that. I changed. I grew. I achieved. Starting with the November 27, 2023 podcast and running through the New Year's Eve podcast, this series offers 35 episodes of principles, inspiration, and motivation that I use toward fulfilling my own lifelong dream. I have audacious goals for 2024, but only 3, because more than that will water down your efforts. I will achieve mine by this time next year. You can do the same. And I hope you will pursue yours with relentless intent. If you find these helpful, please go to the Motivational Devotional Facebook page and let me know. For now, let's get on with it. I apologize for my voice sounding hoarse on this podcast, but I've been practicing Christmas music for hours and my vocal cords are a bit tired. Still, I really want to share this message with you, so I hope my voice holds out. I think few people would argue with the statement that people are more important than things. The holiday season is a time when we are easily reminded of that fact. We frequently hear people say regarding gifts that it is the thought that counts. I've never been 100% sure that I agree with that statement, because what thought is it that we're counting? Are we saying that because a person thought enough to stop at a store and buy something, anything, even if at the last minute and the giver didn't care what the gift was, that they cared simply because they did stop and buy something, no matter what the present was? I guess my issue with this is that there is something here not being addressed in addition to people and things, and that would be emotions like guilt and shame and even resentment. I mean, think about this in the context of the holiday season, in which we celebrate, among other things, the gift of God's creative power. A person is headed to a party or gathering and realizes that they don't have a gift for, let's say, a gift exchange. If they show up empty-handed, there is the guilt factor. And then on top of that would be the shame of being the only person there without a gift. Nobody wants to be that person, and so they stop somewhere and buy something, anything, that they can get gift wrapped or also snag a gift bag and dump the thing into it. Then they arrive and their gift goes into the mix and is received by a person who is maybe less than enthused about the gift because it's not something that would typically be given as a gift. But then someone says, well, it's the thought that counts. And then the person who gave it resents them. The irony with it is, why would the thought count when the whole thing was triggered by a person actually being thoughtless? Well, let's back off the thing versus people deal and look at a comparable dynamic, and that might be relationship versus activities. Being a guy, I understand that most of us men have the view that as long as we are doing the things that our mates need done, they are building relationship and showing caring behaviors.
I learned a while back that while she appreciates the things I do for her, what she really wants is me, my presence, and my attention. She wants me to listen more, and she wants me to let her know that she belongs in my life and that I want to belong in her life. That's what it means to build a sense of love and belonging. And this, believe it or not, is also an issue of integrity, and it does relate to that gift-giving thing I started with. You see, even if you are headed to some office party for that gift exchange and you don't know or even like some of the people who will be there, each of those people getting a gift is still a person who has feelings, and a gift is something that conveys a sense of caring. If it is really the thought that counts, then make it a thought that really counts. Why not make it a thought that says you care that that person receives something they would appreciate, whatever it is, and whoever they are? If you're too busy to come up with something, anything thoughtful, maybe it's better to just not even go? It's different with the people who are closer to us, though, isn't it? Or is it? I wouldn't want to be that guy that comes home Christmas Eve without anything to give and having not gotten any presents under the tree already. That would mean that for the last 364 days, I hadn't given the significant people in my life a second thought. In that case, there is no thought that would count, is there? One of the most important needs that a human being has is that sense of love and belonging. Yesterday's podcast was about emotional bank accounts. If you missed it, I hope you will look it up right after this and listen. Love and belonging is a sense we have when those emotional bank accounts are deep and full of investments. I am not going through all this podcast simply to say that each of us needs to come up with great Christmas gift ideas for other people. That's not it at all. It's about integrity. When we say, I love you, and then our thoughts don't convey anything that counts, then it's an empty statement, and we are not participating in creating that depth of love and belonging. Stephen Covey included integrity as one of the 7 habits of highly effective people because the highly effective people he interviewed for his book told him that it was one of their habits that had gotten them where they were, and integrity had made them more effective. Of course it was, and it still is. If you want to build effective relationships with other people, whether they're your coworkers or their family members, integrity means being thoughtful instead of being thoughtless. It means that your presence with a TS require your presence with a CE. Caring behaviors are more than just knocking off a to-do list and getting things done. Caring behaviors are part of your integrity to ensure that the things we do deepen that sense of love and belonging. And by the way, as a public service message, don't wait until the last minute to start to care. Working on that lifelong dream and goals for next year can start with what we do for others this holiday season, and then we can build on it. Deepening that sense of love and belonging means that we have other people's backs, and through that, we will know that all of creation is conspiring in our favor and that the universe always has our backs. Woody Allen used to say, 90% of life is just showing up.
Thank you for taking the time to listen today. Please help keep this podcast going by following the Motivational Devotional Facebook page, following @Threefold Way Radio on Twitter, and sharing the written format of today's message from motivational-devotional.com on your social media. I am deeply grateful for your support, and thank you for letting Motivational Devotional be part of your journey. Peace out. See you tomorrow.
Motivational Devotional is a production of Threefold Way Radio, LLC.